and welcome back to our channel. Or if it's your first time joining us, we thank you for joining us on this journey. Today we are going to talk about our decisions for Christi to continue with fertility treatments and for me to get pregnant again and try to have a successful pregnancy. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, first of all, now we all know that fertility treatments, IVF, IUI, it's not cheap, especially if insurance doesn't cover it. Like for us, TRICARE does not cover IVF, and for IUI, it wasn't really a good option for us because the doctor felt like the chances of success rate for us were lower. So we had to make a choice after multiple failed attempts at the superovulation and paying for a portion of those drugs. Insurance did cover some of it. We had to seek God first of all, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap, and it's gruesome on the body, and it's gruesome on the marriage. So it was something that we had to come together and say, okay, is this something we really want to do? And I mentioned in the last video that because of what it did to me physically and emotionally and mentally, I was drained. And I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not going through this anymore. Like, I give up. I had given up. And my husband was like, I just really want to do this. And, so I told him, you have to promise that if we do this again, you're going to be with me every step of the way. You're going to be a part of every aspect of what is happening to me, so that you can physically see what I have to go through to get to the other side. So after prayer and of course saving up money, we finally decided to make the decision to do this. And we didn't tell anybody at first because we're like, yeah, they don't give refunds, okay? So there are no money back guarantees with IVF. So if it fails, then not only are you out of thousands of dollars, but you don't have a baby. So you've lost money and you've lost time, and you have nothing to show for it. So I really feel for those women out there who have gone through multiple IVFs and multiple IUIs and have not reached success, because it is not easy. Yeah. And if people knew more about what women had to go through and families had to go through just to bring a life into this world that they want to love and they want to nurture and take care of, I think that a lot of people will be more empathetic, but which is why we're trying to break the silence of it, because it's not an easy decision to even go that route because of the expenses, because of the stress that it can take on a marriage and on a family. But then you have the fear, is it going to be successful? And that was mine. And I try not to operate in fear. I try to walk by faith and not by sight. But when something is completely out of your hands, it's like the doctor could be the best doctor in the world, but if God's hand ain't on it, if he's like, nah, this ain't what I want you to, right now, whatever the case may be, I mean, he has veto power as far as I'm concerned. So it's like you are struggling with what if this doesn't work? Right. We're out $15,000. Like what if this, doesn't pan out the way we want? Because I mean, I went on YouTube looking at different people's stories, and there were so many women who, the IVF failed the first 2 times. And I'm like, y'all spent all this time and money for it not to work. So I was stressed. Yeah. I was stressed out. So I had to prepare myself mentally, first of all, and spiritually, and kind of gear up to even get my mindset there to say, all right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to have faith in God. I don't care what the doctor says. I don't care what any friend says. I don't care what my mother says. I am believing that God made me this promise, and I am going to see this promise fulfilled in my life before I die. And this is my chance to do it. And we did grapple with, is IVF playing God? You know, that was another thing that kind of we went back and forth with. Like, are we trying to do God's job for him by trying to take this route?
Right.
And actually, I don't know what it was. I think I saw something on YouTube or something where it says that basically the person said God, you know, can use anything to bless you, you know, and it may not be in the way that you thought it was going to happen. And so it made me okay with going that route, because I'm like, okay, God, if you are blessing this, if you're ordaining this and you're going to make this happen and your hand is on this, then it will be successful no matter which route we take.
Right.
So it was definitely an internal battle, internal struggle, and a come to Jesus meeting with my husband. But once we were all on the same page and I just felt like spiritually at peace with everything, I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it. You know, and I was at peace during the whole process, even though it was hard. It was difficult. Actually, from all the blood getting drawn, I had the deep vein thrombosis. Like, my arm was, yeah. So it was a struggle, but, you know, we overcame it. We made the decision together to try again. And we committed to walking this path together and just saying to each other, no matter what, you know, we're in this together. I got you, you got me, and we're going to figure it out. And that's how we decided to try again. What about you guys?
Yeah. So for us, after the stillbirth of our daughter, we didn't, initially we were just like, we'll wait, you know, however long it takes, you know, definitely to grieve, to heal, all of that. And then I started to rationalize, well, if we have a successful pregnancy, then maybe it'll help us in the grieving process. You know, of course, we'll never ever forget our daughter. We'll never ever forget the pain and the trauma of, you know, losing her. But if we bring a successful child into the world, then it'll help to ease that pain at least a little bit. And so we decided, okay, we'll just go ahead and start, you know, right away once, you know, we were cleared from the doctor and everything. And so I got pregnant right away. So it was like within, I want to say 8 weeks of us having lost our daughter, found out that we were pregnant again. And of course, there was a lot of apprehension there. There was a lot of, you know, just fear and everything, but we were just like, okay, you know, we're just going to continue to pray, you know, rely on our faith and, you know, declare things over this child's life and, you know, just believe that God is going to come through for this child, and that we will bring a successful, or we will have a successful pregnancy and bring a child into this world, a, you know, healthy, beautiful baby into this world. And so throughout the pregnancy, the second pregnancy, it did seem as if everything was completely perfect, and